From this day forward, I will sit as the first member of parliament representing the coalition of independent parties.
Good evening and welcome to the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition. I'm Rico Knowles. Thanks so much for tuning in. Topping news, a shift in the political landscape this evening as a burgeoning political party just got a raise in its profile as a sitting member of parliament jumped the ship from his party, establishing a new alliance. Cleopatra Murphy joins us live tonight with the details. Cleo.
Well, Rico, the nation got a bit of a surprise this morning as a member of parliament for Central Grand Bahama dropped a bombshell, one that will change the shape of the House of Assembly. Let's take a look.
I announced my decision painfully, yet courageously, to withdraw from the Free National Movement caucus.
The Lincoln Bay-led Coalition of Independents now has its first member of parliament after member of parliament for Central Grand Bahama, Iram dropped a surprising announcement announcing his withdrawal from the Free National Movement in the House of Assembly Wednesday morning.
From this day forward, I will sit as the first member of parliament representing the coalition of independent parties. What? I will dedicate myself to a bipartisan approach, working with all members of this body. Yes, it takes courage, it takes commitment, and I'm convinced that I'm doing what I have to do.
Lulu says the decision was made with a heavy heart, expressed his disenchantment with the FNM, saying he's concerned about its direction as its defining spirit of unity and shared purpose has been replaced by internal strife and division. The member of parliament alluded to that division and what he says is a lack of support within the party for himself that should be afforded to any member over his decision and constitutional right not to support Michael Pintard as leader.
A decision I made in good conscience has seemingly led to a situation where my dedication and my service are called into question. With elections looming, the uncertainty surrounding my candidacy for Central Grand Bahama, a constituency that I have faithfully served, has become a matter of deep concern. Behind the scenes discussions, whispers and implications have eroded the trust that should exist between the party and its dedicated members.
Lewis supported former Prime Minister, the Most Honorable Dr. Hubert Minnis, as FNM leader at the party's 2024 convention. Social media reports have also suggested that Pintard intended to deny Lewis, along with sitting members of Parliament for Killarney and Long Island, Hubert Minnis and Adrian Gibson, the opportunity to run on the party's ticket in the next general election. As for his decision not to cross the floor to the PLP,
it would be very disingenuous of me, having criticized the other side so openly and consistently. I've given credit where credit is due. It would be very disingenuous and hypocritical of me to now join the very force that I've been fighting against.
Prime Minister the Honorable Philip Davis and Member of Parliament for East Grand Bahama, Kwesi Thompson, both categorized the incident as historic, with Thompson disagreeing with Lewis's assessment of the FNM.
We need to respect the choice each and every one made. So we respect the member for what he's done and chose, and we also respect the leader of the opposition for taking the positions that he's been taking.
I celebrate his right to make that decision because all of us have a right to make that decision.
Lewis says his decision was made not out of anger, but a sense of responsibility, adding that it is his desire to continue to serve his country free of partisan politics. He thanked the FNM for allowing him to operate under its brand and his constituents for their support, promising to continue to serve with dignity and integrity. Back to you, Rumiko.
Top.
The announcement that Iram Lewis, Member of Parliament for Central Grand Bahama, will be withdrawing from the Free National Movement has sparked strong reactions from residents from Grand Bahama and the wider Bahamas. Many residents have expressed their support for Lewis, noting that he is a dedicated and effective MP.
From this day forward, I will sit as the first member of parliament representing the coalition of independent parties.
Since his announcement, many have taken to social media to share their opinions. One user argued that change shouldn't be feared or despised, but embraced, urging others not to criticize the man for his decision. Another user asked, "Did you consult your constituents?" While another poster said, "This is the end of your political career." Despite these negative comments, some residents are expressing a different perspective.
That's the best move ever for Iram. Okay. Too long in the Bahamas, we have been here and we thought about two parties, PLP, FNM, PLP, and there could never be a third party. And for him to make such a move, that shows volume.
That's a leader's choice, if to run against another person or not.
I think that that's a bold move, and it's a move we need to see more of.
He's a very man of his word.
Lewis has served 2 consecutive terms as a member of Parliament for Central Grand Bahama, a parliamentary secretary for the Ministry of Works, and a minister of Youth, Sports and Culture.
When we had the storm in 2016, Mr. Lewis, he helped feed me, my daughter, and others in Hawksville Street in the south. And he was there when we needed water, when the lights was off, and we helped Matthew in 2016. And anytime you would ask him for anything, he would never turn you away.
When asked whether they believe Lewis would win if he runs in the 2026 election under the Coalition of Independence, here's their response.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Grand Bahamians are waking up.
The man only could speak for himself, but my opinion, wherever he go, he'll be a good candidate.
The ratified candidates for the Coalition of Independence Party declaring their welcome and gratitude for Lewis joining their party, as they say he's made the right choice.
COI has now welcomed this brother home with open arms, and we're saying, come, let's build this Bahamas together.
Mr. Iram, Lewis, you are very welcome to the COI.
For him to make a decision at this time, prove that he's a wise man.
For the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, I'm Jolanda Thompson, Everest.
Topping news, the Member of Parliament for Central Grand Bahama.
That change isn't coming, but is in fact here.
Change ain't coming! Change is here! Change ain't coming! Change is here!
Seeing is believing, and we want to know what proof is there that change is truly here.
Well, first of all, the move that I made today was unusual. That's a major change. You don't normally see that happen, and persons who were a bit in my position know that they need to make a move. For some reason, they're afraid to do it or convinced not to do it. However, today was not only me, I think it was an act of God.
Now we'd like to know, how is Coalition of Independence preparing a sustainable future for young Bahamians returning home?
They are part of nation building. We rely too much on outside forces to survive, even from down to the food that we eat. We have enough fish, we have enough land to grow our own food or catch our own food. However, we import over 90% of what we consume. That is giving away too much power. We can go in here, we can empower our people, because in our society, if you're not a doctor or a lawyer or health or have a name career, people look down on you. But again, a farmer, a fisherman, contractor, these are people who keep the economy turning. We now have to open the door where Bahamians can now be empowered in their country, feed ourselves, and help to make the Bahamas a truly sovereign nation.
How will you ensure succession planning creates opportunities for young Bahamian talent?
I do believe that succession planning is extremely important. Having youth armed is extremely important, because you need to be able to properly train the next generation. This generation need to live. We need to live good. We're not to the point where we compromise our future generations. We should not be making decisions now that our grandchildren and great-grandchildren have to pay for whenever they arrive. Whenever we make decisions, it's not only for the now generation, but it's for the future generation. It's going to affect the entire Bahamas. So again, it's very, very important for us to realize that, and to allow the young people to be a part of decision making. Give them a voice, not only a voice, but give them a voice with teeth, where they can make sound decisions as relates to their future.
So tell us, are you convinced that change is here and it's not coming? Let us know in the comments.
Change ain't coming.
From this day forward, I will set
This is 7:30. Top surprise political move that has left.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and thank you all for tuning in. You know what to do when you get in here, and that is share, share, share. Let's make sure we get the word out, make sure that everyone knows what's going on. That's your duty. All right. So thank you for joining us. We appreciate you. And of course, we are broadcasting live from our studio in Nassau, the Bahamas. And we need you to do your thing. And that is use your @ highlights, use your at followers, and make sure to get the message out. Tag some people in here, make sure they know what is happening. All right, so I'm going to get right to it, ladies and gentlemen. Of course, we had an amazing week last week. There was a political shift. There was a political earthquake in this country, and now we're going to see something different in the House of Assembly. There are a lot of people who underestimated the movement that we call the Coalition of Independence. There were a lot of people who felt like we would be relegated to the sidelines. There were people who said we would never get a seat in the House of Assembly. And there were people who said that we would never get anywhere. We don't focus on what people say, because if we did, we wouldn't be doing this. Every day, people have opinions. Every day, people wake up with more stories and lies about us, and other people wonder if it's true, if it's not. We're not even focused on any of that. We are focused on one thing: saving our nation and putting our country first. That is a priority for us. There is no other mission right now. There's no mission for power. There's no mission to make anyone prime minister or a member of parliament. The real mission is taking this country back and giving it to the Bahamian people, putting the Bahamian people first, and making sure we have a country that works. That is the mission. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you are on that mission, then you are in the right place. Ladies and gentlemen, a lot of questions arose after last week and what happened. And in case you don't know, the member of parliament for the Central Grand Bahama constituency joined the Coalition of Independence. The question is, what does that mean? I heard, people were talking, people were asking questions, people were texting and calling, asking questions. What does that mean? Was he supposed to ask permission from his constituents? What was supposed to happen? Are you supposed to have a by-election? There's all manner of questions. I even saw one talk show where someone claims to be a connoisseur of the Constitution. He claims to be an expert in the Constitution, and he was as lost as everyone else. He said that Iram Lewis is now an independent candidate in the House of Assembly, meaning that he's not a part of the COI, he's just independent, and he just has allegiance to the COI. It's shocking how many intelligent people don't know civics. And that's one of the reasons we're going to add civics to our education system, because a lot of people are lost when it comes to these things. And so we're going to have this conversation today. We want you to be a part of it. And we want you to be able to call in and ask your questions. We are going to open the phone lines when it's time, because we want to be able to answer your questions. Every Sunday, we come here to be able to answer your questions. So today, we wanted to make sure that everyone understood what is happening and what is about to happen. And so I want you to know that what is about to happen is that the evolution has begun. And what do I mean the evolution has begun? When I say the evolution has begun, I'm saying that there's about to be change. Change is about to happen in this country for the first time in the modern era. We have gone from slaves to mere servants to educated servants who are slaves to banks. And we are now evolving to owners of this nation. No nation can really grow unless the people of that nation are owners, owners of our commerce, owners of our land, owners of this nation. That is where we're headed. That is the evolution. It's time to evolve, Bahamas. They want you to continue to be their slaves. I put it to you that the time for slavery is over. It's time for us to own this nation. The puppets of the oligarchs will come forth to be their candidate and say that they're going to be a good prime minister. They're going to look out for the people when they never have. When they know that they're just going to be the puppets of the oligarchs who want to keep us in the old Bahamas in slavery. All we want to do is give you a new Bahamas that works, a new one. And so we hope you are prepared for that. This is what we're all about. This is what we're all about, all right? They're asking me to block someone. I can't really maneuver that stuff right now. So you all deal with them. You all know how to deal with them because I can't even see them on there. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, before I get started, just want to make a quick announcement. We are coming to Grand Bahama. And so I know it's long awaited, but us and our team will be in Grand Bahama on Thursday, April 10th at 7 p.m. We're going to be at the YMTA, the YMTA, not to be confused with the YMCA. This is not the YMCA. This is the YMTA, I think it's the Young Men's Travel Association in Hunters, Grand Bahama. So this is the YMTA in Hunters. Do you know where Hunters is? So I don't want you confusing and saying, oh, I went to the YMCA. No, it's the YMTA. I know they sound alike. This is in Hunters. All right. So hunt for the YMTA. All right. So please remember that. Please share the word and come out in mass. Come out and we're going to introduce to you the new Member of Parliament, COI Member of Parliament for the Central Grand Bahama constituency. All right, ladies and gentlemen. So that is what we are going to introduce to you. You're going to hear from the leadership of this organization, and we're also going to introduce to you a couple new candidates. All right, right in Grand Bahama, we're going to introduce to you a couple new candidates. Right? And so we got some people that we are proud of. So we're going to present them to you. All right. So make sure you are there. We're going to keep going. All right. Yeah. All right. So we're going to keep going. So we got some more candidates that are coming soon that you are going to appreciate and love. We're doing the final stages of vetting, but we're going to present a couple to you this week in Grand Bahama, then a couple shortly after that. All right. So I just want to get into this so I can answer all of your questions. But ladies and gentlemen, we are excited to be in Grand Bahama. Make sure you come out. Make sure you come and show us your support. We're fighting for you. Get to meet me. Get to meet the other persons that you see all the time on social media, on TV, on the news. We're going to be right there with you. So make sure you come out and hear the vision for New Bahamas, the vision for Grand Bahama. I'm going to talk to you about Grand Bahama and what we're going to do with that. How are we going to fix Grand Bahama? So you're going to hear from Ms. Iram Lewis, you're going to hear from myself, you're going to hear from my deputy, our chairman, and others. But ladies and gentlemen, I am going to let you know how Grand Bahama can be the Singapore or Dubai of the Western Hemisphere. Grand Bahama's economy can be like one of the greatest nations in this world. Grand Bahama alone, Grand Bahama is the key to the new Bahamas. And so something symbolic has happened here. And so let's keep moving and let's keep making this happen. But come out and be a part of the vision. I'll answer your questions. We'll be there. You know, we always answer your questions about Grand Bahama and how we're going to make that change, ladies and gentlemen. But we're going to make that change. So as we get started, I want to answer a lot of your questions about what has been going on, what's happening, what does everything mean. I'm going to answer your questions, and I'm going to discuss this first. There are some people who are saying that many things. They're saying that Iram Lewis was supposed to ask permission first before he did it. And it's shocking that all of a sudden it seems like people, like this is the first time they've heard of something like this happening, like someone crossing the floor. It's like their understanding of it is gone away. It's like people had some kind of blockage. This has happened before. And so class is in session. I'm going to show you exactly how this has happened before, and then we're going to open the discussion. Because we're not a cult like the PLP and FNM. They are cults. They want you to just support them and go along with them no matter what. No matter what you see, no matter how much corruption they do, you just vote for party. That's what they want you to do. They want you to just blindly follow them. That's not us. We open ourselves every week to our people to explain ourselves to our people and answer questions. We educate you, we inform you, and that's what we do. And so this is not the first time that this has happened. All right. So I'm going to show you a couple instances of it happening before. Then I'm going to show you how it's even more extreme in places like the UK, where sometimes they don't even get up and give no speech. They literally just cross the floor. Sometimes the prime minister could be speaking and someone could just get up out of their seat and cross the floor and sit in another seat on the other side. And that means that they just changed parties. No explanation, no nothing. They don't talk to their constituents, nothing. They get up while the speaking is going on, if they want to, or anytime. And once they select another seat, that means we're done with you. We're moving on. We have to educate ourselves so that the politicians can't hoodwink and bamboozle us anymore. And that's a part of our mission. So here we go. Here we go. So of course, you've seen all the news stories. I'm going to bring you back to some history.
Fort Charlotte MP Dr. Andre Rollins first got the House in an uproar after he tried to speak right before the budget debate was about to wrap up. That back and forth with the government, Rollins and the Speaker of the House shut down the House for what was supposed to be 5 minutes, but ended up being almost half an hour and caused the Speaker to be increasingly uncomfortable. But that was just the beginning of the clash on the carpet. Here's C.S. Gadley.
If the member was a member of the minority, then I may have some consideration for that. But he's a part of this caucus.
Based on what the member for Carolyn from Kingston, Salvador has just said, that I must be a member of the minority in order to be given the right to speak in here today, I would ask them to release me from the Progressive Liberal Party right now, and I would speak. Release me right now. Release me right now.
And with the drama.
Do you think that he went and asked his constituents before he said that? I don't think so. Let's continue.
Unfolding in Parliament and opposition members criticizing government for the move, Prime Minister the Right Honorable Perry Christie reminded parliamentarians that the step taken was nothing new.
On any number of occasions, the members of this House who were in a previous and prior term would have had the motion put by the governing party, and there are at least 3 members on that side who were a party to the motion being put in similar circumstances. Now, Mr. Speaker, that's the first point, that the precedence of this House over generations of House of Assembly have clearly allowed that rule to be invoked. And when the committee was appointed to review
I'm gonna cut to the chase.
As he sees fit in this parliament.
Sia Scatterly, ZNS Network News.
Following the uproar in the House of Assembly, House Speaker Dr. Kendall Major still allowed the Fort Charlotte Member of Parliament to speak. Our Jared Higgs tells us that he ended it by parting ways with the PLP.
I resign as a member of the Progressive Liberal Party, Mr. Speaker.
That's Fort Charlotte MP Dr. Andre Rollins resigning from the Progressive Liberal Party at the close of his budget contribution Wednesday evening. It all started when
So I just wanted the Bahamian people to see that this has happened before. Classes in session, as I said, that this is not the first time. And what he did though was he went independent, and then he went to the FNM. All right, I'll give you another instance of this happening. Give you another instance. This is another instance.
It did not shy away from throwing blows at the young politician. In a statement,
That's Bradley Roberts there.
Prime Minister Perry Christie was not present in the House of Assembly when Moss made his contribution, and he said that he has not spoken to the Prime Minister since his resignation. However, PLP Chairman Bradley Roberts did not shy away from throwing blows at the young politician.
By the time I come back to this House, Mr. Speaker, you are going to be required to exercise the discretion under Rule 23 sub 3 regarding the seating of members in this House, because tonight I'm going to resign as a member of the PLP. I cannot continue with this party in the manner in which it's operating on. That resignation will go out during the course of tomorrow to the Speaker, to the leader of our party, to the chairman of the party. I strongly encourage this party to look not at window dressing, but at changes. We clearly have a problem with leadership. We clearly have a problem with leadership, both at executive level and at the party level. I'll follow my conscience on this.
So again, that was Greg Moss, who did the same thing recently. That's 9 years ago. And this is another one.
I've spoken, Mr. Speaker, to members of my family, constituents, our church leaders, religious leaders, and others. I've also thought and prayed long and hard. And it has become extremely clear to me what I must do. It is time for me to do what I believe is best for me. Mr. Speaker, I've been in conversation with the leader of the opposition, and after careful reflection, I've decided, Mr. Speaker, to join the Progressive Liberal Party. I spoke to the leader of the opposition about joining the PLP and sitting with his parliamentary caucus from now until the general election, offering to be the next representative for the Great Golden Isles constituency as a Progressive Liberal Party member of the parliament. And he assured me, Mr. Speaker, that he would welcome me into the party and into his caucus.
Miller was welcomed to the party by the deputy leader of.
So that is another one. That's Vaughn Miller. He crossed
I've
the law.
spoken, Mr. Speaker.
I don't know that he got the permission of his constituents. This is another one. Renwood Wells. I'm going to cut the chase. You know, Renwood talks very long, so I'm going to cut to the chase. Let's go to the pertinent part.
Time to associate oneself and to disassociate oneself. At this juncture in my life, Mr. Speaker, and in the life of this nation, I choose to formally disassociate the PLP. I now choose to associate myself with the alternative government and all those who seek new leadership and a better, brighter, booming Bahamas. I therefore wish to advise that I am joining forces with the members of the Free National Movement.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
I request to be reseated in this honorable house. Thank you. Thank you, Honorable Member. Ordered that the statement be brought up.
And so, of course, that is another one. So that's just several of them. We've had other instances over history, Hubert Ingram, Perry Christie, etc. And I say this because some people seem to be confused as to whether, one, you should get permission from your constituents. My question there,
Mr. Speaker, to members of my family,
because I'm going to show you how this works in England.
constituents, our church leaders.
I'm going to show you how this works in England. My question there, they said you should have asked your constituents. How do you go to 5,000 people and ask their permission? How do you do that? You don't go and ask 5,000 people. We have a big town hall meeting. That's not how it works. I'll explain to you how the voting process works and who you really voted for. You didn't vote for the FNM. You voted for someone who happens to be under the FNM ticket, but you're voting for that individual. Okay, but I'll get to that in a second. Let me just let you see how it works in England. I'll just sketch you for a couple of days and you'll get to see how this works. They don't like to educate us on this stuff because they don't ever want knowing what should happen.
Briefly, the Labour Party. As defections go, Tory Natalie Elphick crossing the floor to Labour wasn't just highly unexpected, looked somewhat awkward too. Really fantastic. See crossover, everything you've done on housing, etc. Waters, track record. It's really, really good. The MP for Dover and Deal made the same switch today many voters made last week during the local elections. This was her reasoning.
In 2019, the Conservatives stood on a manifesto that was very much centre ground, but under Vision Sunak, they've abandoned centre ground and broken many election promises. Meanwhile, under Keir Starmer, Labour have changed.
I think she speaks for very many Tory voters.
And so basically, her party wasn't doing what it promised. And every time you see any change, it's not for political gain or someone wasn't included. It's normally because of policy, which is where we need to get. She said that the immigration policy is not being followed. They're trying to open up the country, housing, etc., etc. And so she moves on a policy basis. All right. This is another one. So what you're seeing is they're walking from this side of the room over to the other side of the room, and that's what they call literally crossing the floor. No speech, no paper, no nothing. They're just crossing the floor. Someone was speaking while they were doing it. And so they just get up and walk to the other side, and that's it.
Can I start by warmly welcoming? Can I start? Yeah, listen to brothers.
Can I just say, I expect people to listen to the Prime Minister. I certainly don't want the Leader of the Opposition shouting down. You might not like the day, but this is the day that we've got. Yes, sir.
Mr. Speaker, I'm not bothered. I assumed it was a...
So this is the leader of the opposition trying to speak, and someone from the Prime Minister's side just crossed over to the opposition side, just literally walked and sat behind him, which means he just crossed the floor. And people from the governing party was heckling him, and the speaker shut them up.
Directed over here. Can I start by warmly welcoming the honourable member for Bury South and to the Parliamentary Labour Party.
And so I'll show you another one. This is not a complicated process. It's literally you.
Now speed limit, put a block on any new roads.
Okay, go ahead.
Now speed limit, put a block on any new roads. Build an extra road charges.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker.
So that's how, and others just getting up, that's Ms. Cameron and others just getting up and walking across the floor and changing party. This is a simple process. It's not, it has nothing to do with the election and what happened before this. The election is determined who will be the person to represent the constituency and to go into the House of Assembly. That's what the election is for. After that, it's a different case. And I'll explain it in a second once I'm finished. So this is them just walking across the floor. That's how simple it is. That's how easily it can be done. Not even, they didn't even have to announce, would we normally announce, I'm now going to join the COI, I'm now going to join the PLP, the FNM. No speech. Literally, it's called crossing the floor.
Can I just say to the members, the member was in the middle of asking a question. I think it's disrespectful to your own side. You should think about what you're doing. And can I just say, people should wait. Just because you want to chase somebody coming in, do it at the right time. Totally inappropriate. Come on, Marco.
And so the speaker, of course, is saying that they're making noise. They're making noise while it's happening. So he's like, if you want to chair, but someone was talking, so be respectful. But the speakers there are more independent, so they speak from both sides. So this is the last one I'll show you, and then I'll get to it.
Group was united on one thing. They can no.
I think this is Canada. No.
British parliamentarians can't
England.
agree on much lately, but at least for today, this group was united on one thing. They can no longer stand with their party.
This has not been an easy decision for any of us. We've all been Labour members of Parliament for very many years.
And with that, 7 opposition Labour MPs.
And so that's that. And so in the Bahamas, we have the same rules as in England, and we are able to operate in a similar way as England does. All right. So
Minister of Labour and Immigration, the Honourable Keith.
Played in the background while I'm doing this. But ladies and gentlemen, we need real change. Okay. I've had enough. I think you've had enough of what's going on. And I think a member of parliament decided that he also had enough. And so, as you've seen, it's happened before in the Bahamas. In fact, a third party, this is not the first time a third party has been in the House of Assembly. A third party won a seat in the House before in 1967. And it was that third party that caused the government to become the PLP. Did you remember that? Can you imagine saying that, oh, you shouldn't be allowed to cross the floor without a by-election? But how would we have had 1967 a majority rule, a day that all of us celebrate? You have to think, Randall Fox was the Labour Party. He was not independent. Salvador Brennan was independent. So Randall Fox was the Labour party, and the Labour Party won 1 seat. Had he not decided to focus with the PLP, the third party, we would have probably still been under the UBP. So all of a sudden, these people who are pontificating and, oh, you should have a by-election, et cetera, can you imagine for that in 1967 and what the UBP would have done? Think about that. So just so you can have a better understanding of what's happening, when you vote for an individual. The individual, he is with a party or not with a party. He can be independent. Or he can be with any party he wants, and he can change that at any time. You're voting for him. When he wins, that is why when he or she wins, he has to remove all party paraphernalia from the headquarters, because it's not about the party in the constituency. It's about the individual who is your representative. And his name and your constituency name is on the plaque in front of him in the House of Assembly. It's not about the party. So to say that, what about the FNMs who voted for him? What about the PLPs who voted for Iram? And he crossed the floor, well, to become independent. What about the PLPs who voted for Perry Christie? What about the Labour Party supporters who wasn't interested in Pinland? That's why they supported the Labour Party. They weren't interested in Pinland and the PLP. They were interested in Randall Fox because they felt he was. What about those people who voted for Randall Fox? They voted for him to put him in a position, because they respect him, to make the right decision on their behalf. And the decision that he made, even though he got a blank check from the other side, UBP, he said, I'm going to make a decision and I'm going to go with the PLP. Even though he was kind of cast aside by Pinland, he did the right thing. He put personal aside and he did the right thing. So when you vote for them, they now represent everyone, not just the people who voted for them. They don't represent, Iram Lewis doesn't just represent FNMs. He represents the persons who voted COI. He represents the persons who didn't vote. He represents all of them. He participate in the process of choosing who the representative would be. And the representative now represents everyone in the constituency, not just the people who voted for him. So I hope you understand that. Now, in the House of Assembly. In the House of Assembly, he represents his constituency in the House of Assembly. And so he can choose which party he caucuses with. That means which party he stands with. And that can be any party. It can be a party that is in the House of Assembly or not in the House of Assembly. He can even form a party while he is in the House of Assembly, and that party would now have a position in the House of Assembly. I said it because some people sent me some clips of some people on a talk show with some guy who says he knows and he does know the Constitution well, but he knows the Constitution well, and he's saying that he would now have to be independent in the House. That is absolute not true. And to buttress that, I won't just give my opinion. I'm going to now let you hear from the man with the experience and the man who would know what he's talking about, who has the actual experience. This man has actually, and he's been there for a very long time. And so we just screen recorded this on WhatsApp, so it might not be very presentable. But this is the clerk of the House of Assembly informing you of what now happens. And so I know people are on talk shows calling themselves professors and all kind of manner of stuff and saying that they know this and they know that, and people are pontificating. But this is the actual professional who knows what he's talking about. Let's listen to him.
Welcome to our news live at 7. Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Candino Knowles. Slight changes coming to the House of Assembly with a third party now represented in the halls of Parliament. Iram Lewis no longer under the FNM banner after officially joining COI, and he'll occupy a new seat. Our Bertany other procedural changes in this
hoping that you guys can hear
Iram
this.
Lewis's decision to drop the Free National Movement and now join the Coalition of Independents could change the dynamic of parliamentary proceedings. Parliamentary Chief Clerk Davis Forbes telling us the seating will now change.
Rather than having just...
Okay, if you're watching this, let me know if you can hear this, because I can't hear it. I don't understand why there's no
three
volume
parties
on it.
represented in the House of Assembly.
So where will he be now?
He'll now be sitting on the back seat.
On Wednesday, Lewis delivered the shocking news that he is resigning from the FNM and joining the COI, becoming their first MP. Before a switch, Lewis sat in the front row with other FNM MPs. As to why the transition, well, he cited a divided party and uncertainty surrounding his nomination in the upcoming general election. With Lewis now representing a third party, he will have to be consulted on decisions. In Parliament, there is one leader of opposition business, St. Anne's MP Adrian White. But what does that mean for a fringe party opposition member?
The government leader, in order to help with the efficient functioning of the Parliament and the conduct of business, he would consult with the leader of the opposition business. Now he has to consult with two persons rather than one person, because the leader of the opposition business, Mr. Adrian White, will no longer be able to speak for Mr. Iram Lewis. Iram Lewis represents a third force that will speak for himself on the Coalition of Independents.
And with Lewis now joining the Coalition of Independents, this means the number of opposition seats on multiple committees has been shortened by one.
But there is one where the opposition forces have the majority of votes. That is the famous Public Accounts Committee. That's the only one where the opposition have the majority of votes and usually gets to write the report. What you have now is you have two opposition forces in there now, so they may have to share those 3 seats. And if that's the case, the dynamics change a little bit.
Reporting for our news, I'm Bertany McDermott.
Okay, so I hope everyone heard what was said just now, that there are now 2 opposition parties in the House of Assembly. Okay? Not 1, but 2. That is the clerk of the House of Assembly, who knows what he's talking about and who has to deal with this. And so he is making it clear that the government will now have to answer to both parties. When they are making their arrangements for that day in the House of Assembly, they have to answer or consult with both the FNM and the COI. Why? Because the COI has a member of parliament in the House. Okay? And so I just wanted to make sure we understand that, because sometimes Bahamians make up stuff that's not there. Like they'll tell you you're allowed to run the red light after 12 a.m. Like there's no law says that, but they just spread it, and or they'll tell you can have a knife as long as it's under 6 inches. They just make stuff up and they start spreading it as if it's true. And so people started, despite seeing people cross the floor on many occasions, they started making up their own thing. All right. And so now I want to go through this one more time. I want to walk through this with you so that you can hear exactly what the situation now is. And this is for those who support us and those who don't support us. This is how we now address this situation. This is what is really happening in the House of Assembly at this time. So I'm going to remove the comments for a sec so you can see it properly. Okay, so we're just so sorry. We had to just screen record this. I don't think you can see it good like that. Let's see. No, still not good enough. We'll do it like this. All right, so I'm going to play this one more time.
Welcome to our news live at 7. Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Candino Knowles. Slight changes coming to the House of Assembly with a third party now represented in the halls of Parliament. Iram Lewis no longer under the FNM banner after officially joining COI, and he'll...
So now a third party is represented in the House of Assembly, okay? So that's just so it's fully understood.
Seat. Our Bethany McDermott takes a look at other procedural changes in this report.
Iram Lewis's decision to drop the Free National Movement and now join the Coalition of Independents could change the dynamic of parliamentary proceedings. Parliamentary Chief Clerk Davis Forbes telling us the seating will now change.
Rather than having just the Progressive Liberal Party and the FNM, now you have three parties in the House of Assembly, three parties.
So now instead of just the PLP and the FNM, now you have three parties in the House of Assembly. Okay? That is how it now works. And that was the intention.
House of Assembly.
So where will he be now?
He'll now be sitting on the back seat.
On Wednesday, Lewis delivered the shocking news that he is resigning from the FNM.
And he will be in the back seat of the House of Assembly. Of course, we can request that he sit right next to the FNM, but of course that's a little uncomfortable because he should sit there before the PLP backbenches. But of course, it's better to not have him sitting next to
and joining the COI, becoming their first MP. Before a switch, Lewis sat in the front row with other FNM MPs. As to why the transition, well, he cited a divided party and uncertainty surrounding his nomination in the upcoming general election. With Lewis now representing a third party, he will have to be consulted on decisions. In Parliament, there is one leader of opposition business, St. Anne's MP Adrian White. But what does that mean for a fringe party opposition member?
The government leader, in order to help with the efficient functioning of the Parliament and the conduct of business, he would consult with the leader of the opposition business. Now he has to consult with two persons rather than one person, because the leader of the opposition business, Mr. Adrian White, will no longer be able to speak for Mr. Iram Lewis. Iram Lewis represents a third force that will speak for himself on the Coalition of Independents.
And with Lewis now joining the Coalition of Independents, this means the number of opposition seats on multiple committees has been shortened by one.
But there is one where the opposition forces have the majority of votes. That is the famous Public Accounts Committee. That's the only one where the opposition have the majority of votes and usually gets to write the report. What you have now is you have two opposition forces in there now, so they may have to share those 3 seats. And if that's the...
So, you hear what he says? There's 2 opposition forces in the House of Assembly now, the FNM and the Coalition of Independents. And so this is from the man in charge of the House of Assembly. Okay? So for that, them talk show people who are confused, y'all can call into the shows tomorrow and set them straight. They're making up all kinds of scenario. And so you can set them straight.
The dynamics change a little bit.
Reporting for our news, I'm Bethany McDermott.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, so that is the scenario. So the COI is now a part of the government. Okay, not the governing party, the executive, not the executive, but a part of the legislature, which is the part of the government. Okay, and the legislature is not just the governing party. It is the governing party and the oppositions, and they are both oppositions. And I will dare to say that one opposition represents the Queen or the King. We represent the people of the Bahamas. So that other opposition, they represent His Majesty. We represent you. And that is what we're going to do in the House of Assembly. And so that is our only mission. And so that's what we're going to do. Okay? We are going to represent you, the Bahamian people, in the House of Assembly. Okay? That is the mission that we are on. So, ladies and gentlemen, there are people who had questions about how this works, etc. No, we've not sworn to be Her Majesty's loyal opposition. So it's not royal, it's loyal opposition. That's what they call themselves. We are the opposition of the people. And so now some change is going to come. Okay? So we just wanted to get all of that out of the way. And I'm going to open the phone lines so as I continue. I want you to call in if you have any questions. Some people who are confused about stuff, or if you were at work and they were saying some stuff that you didn't understand, this is your chance to call in and be a part of this. I'm here to answer all questions to make sure you are fully aware of what's going on, and you take the message out there that the COI has arrived. We will not only be representing you on the streets like we did with the taxi drivers a minute ago. We are going to be representing you. We're going to be representing you in the House of Assembly. We are going to put your issues on the record. The government isn't paying the police reservists. We are going to put that on the record. They're going to have to explain why they're doing it. They can't cover up. And we're going to have to see if y'all ain't paying the reservists, why is that? Where's the money for the reservists? All right. So we're gonna hold their foot to the fire. All right. So the phone lines are open. You can call by a WhatsApp or a regular line, and it's 803-5995, 803-5995. Those are the numbers. We are going to be, ladies and gentlemen, in Grand Bahama. The team is going to be in Grand Bahama. Also, executives, some of our candidates, we're going to be in Grand Bahama, and we want you to join us there. Be there with us on Thursday, April 10th at 7 p.m. Thursday, April 10th at 7 p.m. We are going to present to you the new COI Member of Parliament for Central Grand Bahama, Mr. Iram Lewis. You'll also hear from our deputy, our chairman, and others. We're going to present a couple new candidates to you. You should be excited about this. One of them is a banker by profession. And also, Mr. Iram Lewis is going to be presented to you. Let's go to the phone lines before we continue. But that's at the YMTA in Hunters, okay? Not to be confused with the YMCA. It's not the YMCA. It's the YMTA, the Young Men Travel Association in Hunters, Grand Bahama, okay? So don't go show up to the YMCA and say you was confused. It's the YMTA in Hunters, which is in the Central Grand Bahama constituency. So we're going to have a general meeting. So all of you COI supporters, come out, be there. All of us are going to be there. You can sit, talk with me, and we're going to have a jolly old time. Let's go to the phone lines. Good afternoon. You're live.
Good afternoon, Mr. B.
Yes.
I would like to say, first of all, congratulations to the COI. One seat in Parliament, and all hats off to Mr. Iram, right?
Yes, Iram Lewis.
For being a man, for being a true Bahamian man standing up in Parliament.
Yes.
For a third party.
Yes.
Third party, the first in the history of this country that a third party ever hit Parliament. And to my Bahamian people that are out there that know God, you think God isn't onto something in this 21st century?
Yeah.
Let me tell you all something. This feeling within my bones for about 4 or 5 years.
Wow.
That something very serious was going to take place in this country. And
Yes.
here it is now. The history is in the making. It's already made.
Yes.
Not in the making, it's already made.
Yes.
And all I want to say to the Bahamian people, we are started. So let's finish this straight across the board. Where every one in Parliament is not PLP standing, not FNM standing, but a new Bahamian government in parliament. That's what I want to see in this country.
Yes.
And I'm not proud to be a Bahamian right now, but I would be 100% prouder to call myself and to stand up and say I'm a Bahamian in the Bahamas.
Yes. Thank you, man.
Because Mr. Bain, right now we are going down a wrong road to destruction, but we got a man to stand for the Bahamian people in parliament, and one of these days I will be in there too, because I want to get into the see the foolishness that's been going on in there, and I hope my presence in there will frighten them, because I will be staring them straight direct in the eyes.
Yes.
So we have access to Parliament as a third party.
Yes.
Congratulations again to the COI, and thank you to Mr. Bain for taking my call.
Thank you. We're just getting started. All right.
Yes,
good afternoon. You're live.
Hello, Lincoln.
Hello. How you doing?
Fantastic. I just want to say that the PLP spent $5 million in Grand Bahama during the by-election to win the battle, only to lose the war.
Yes.
Congratulations to the COI.
Thank you, man.
All the best, man.
All right, my brother. That call is correct. The PLP spent $5.4 million plus they use our taxpayer money for flights and hotels, et cetera, our taxpayer money they used to win an election. They didn't want the COI in the House. They were terrified. But guess what? Now we're in the House. I can guarantee you, had I won that election, I wouldn't be a part of the PAC. They wouldn't put me in there. But guess what? Now we're there. And so sometimes God, well, all the time, God moves in mysterious ways. And so we're going to continue to fight for the Bahamian people and to make sure that that this country is for us, man. I'm tired of seeing what's going on. I'm tired. I'm hearing the government talking about how they're going to finally fix electricity. You're still talking about the Luther people trying to protest over Luther. Your candidate's coming soon. All right? And then we're gonna agitate for you. They're coming soon. All right? So we just got to vet a couple of people, and then we'll be good to go. We are going to put a candidate in every single constituency in this nation. But back to the civics of this, ladies and gentlemen, the COI is now part of the Parliament and a part of the House of Assembly. Okay. I also wanted to mention and congratulate. I was going to play the video, but I don't have it queued up. I want to congratulate the Delta sorority for Delta Sigma Theta sorority for pulling off an actual debate, the first real debate, because the UB did something that they staged last time. I think Brave was behind that, but because the people who were organizing it, all of them got special jobs. All right, one got sent to Canada, another one got put in front of monuments, etc. And so we believe that Brave was behind that. That was a tool for him. But in any event, the Deltas had a debate that the PLP, FNM, and the COI participating in. And I just want to say that it was something special. It was for women's empowerment, and the ladies did extremely well. I want to congratulate them. They were supportive of each other. They were backstage encouraging each other. The lady from the PLP, I don't remember her name. I think she was Ms. Roll. She did very well, very well spoken. Senator Barnett was also she did very well. And And so I want to congratulate her also dealing with these issues. And also Miss Charlotte Green also did very well. Miss Charlotte Green, I think she was a soldier in all of this. She that night she had a massive migraine and she pulled through. She didn't want to let people down and not show up. She was on the ticket and she competed with a massive headache and she continued and pulled through. That's what you call a real champion, a real lioness. She made no excuses. She didn't come on the mic and say, listen, I'm going through. But she pulled through. You could see she was struggling a little bit at some points, but she pulled it through. So thank you for representing as well, Ms. Green. She had to go get medicated and take some time off after that. But those ladies did well. And it was the camaraderie that was very important, the intelligence of the whole thing, and even when they disagreed, they dealt with stuff properly. Now, that takes us to the real debate. We should move past the point where we have leaders who want to come to this country without debating, without letting us know where they are on certain issues, without answering to the people like I do every Sunday at 5. And so I am calling for a debate between the three parties in the House of Assembly. I'm calling for a debate with Michael Pintard, with Philip Brave Davis, and myself, Lincoln Bain. We should come to the people, let them question us, just like those ladies did, and show that we are articulate and knowledgeable about what we're talking about. No one should be allowed to lead this country unless they participate in that debate. And so it's time, ladies and gentlemen, for us to have real debates of our leadership. And I am going to antagonize, even if we have to do so in the House of Assembly, for a debate to happen between the leaders of the three parties represented in the House of Assembly. So, and I'll say this, y'all can give Pintard and Brave the answers beforehand. You don't have to give me the questions beforehand. You don't have to give me nothing. Give it to them. Give them the questions beforehand. Let them prepare. Let them stand in front of the mirror and look and see how they're going to answer. You know, Pintard is an actor, so he's going to memorize some speech for each one of the questions. So let him do that. And don't give me the questions. I'll answer on the fly. And so let's get this done. All right? We have to move this country forward. And so again, I want to congratulate Mr. Iram Lewis. I want to say this. The next thing is, I heard the chairman of the PLP. He has, he addresses people in a very nasty way. But his time is coming to an end. He's an old lion, and so we're not gonna go back and forth with him. But the chairman of the PLP, started to make some JR. And they put out some caricature saying that Iram Lewis didn't show up for his first interview. Actually, he did. Iram Lewis was interviewed first on Jerome Sawyer's show that day. That day, after he came out of the house, interviewed on Jerome Sawyer's show. Both of us were on Jerome Sawyer's show, but they pre-recorded it. He was on Jerome Sawyer's show with me. He was on Shanique Miller's show in the same day. And that night at 8 p.m., he was supposed to do Clint Watson's show. By then, his toothache or whatever situation was too extreme. He couldn't go anymore. He tried, but he said he had to sit that one out. And I held up for him. That's my brother. I held the fort for him. And that's what happened. He was not a no-show. He had 3 shows to do in that one day. I could tell you, doing one show is tedious for those who do shows. To sit down for an hour or 2 hours and talk, that's a lot of work. But he did show up, and so I don't understand this caricature that's going around. He didn't show up to Clint's show. But as Clint said on his show, Iram was live on Janique Miller's show while I was live on Clint's show. And so Iram couldn't do the two of them. All right. And so because of his situation, but he's doing better. He went to the dentist that next morning and he's doing better now. So, you know, they're going to find every little petty thing to run on with. This is not important. And so while you all are sending out caricatures, Bahamians are suffering. Fred Mitchell said, I did a personal attack on him. I didn't do a personal attack, Fred Mitchell. I didn't. I didn't talk about your personal business and your personal sexual preference and all these other stuff. Your corrupt party. I did not talk about you personally. I talked about your running of this country along with your party. Y'all don't understand the difference between personal, because y'all think y'all own this country. That's why you called it a personal attack. And I'll say what I said to you again, Fred Mitchell. If you running a monopoly in this country, only you can do that business. Anyone who does it got to get permission from you. An electricity monopoly and you bankrupt, that's an idiot. How could you have a monopoly and be bankrupt? How does that work in any country? Can you imagine you're the only person that can do anything in a country and you bankrupt? That's an idiot. That's beyond idiocy. I'm being polite. You have to be the dumbest people in the world, in world history, to have a monopoly that is bankrupt. If you are the only person that can sell water in a country, how could you be bankrupt? If you're the only person that can sell potato chips in a country, how could you be bankrupt? If you're the only person that can sell food, how could you be bankrupt? How? But everything you all touch is bankrupt. Bahamas Air, bankrupt. But it's bankrupt because of your corruption, not because you're idiots. Because y'all are raping and robbing it. We know. We just calling y'all idiots to be polite until we get in and deal with y'all. If you're making $3 billion a year and you can't build a hospital in 70 years, you're an idiot. I can't say it any better than that. If you are buying $200,000 and $300,000 cars to drive around in, but you can't get a $200,000 to $300,000 fire truck, you're an idiot. Because someone is going to lose their $300,000 house when all we needed was a $300,000 fire truck. That's idiots. When you spend $183 million to pave the road in West End, you ain't building no road, no. You're just putting tile over the road. That's an idiot. That's like spending $100 on a bamboo shack snack. Someone come and say, boy, I just get this snack from Bamboo Shack. I don't want it. You could have it. Give me $100. That's an idiot. Paving 100 miles of road in Eleuthera? 100 miles of road in Eleuthera for $100 million? That's an idiot. And so that's what I'm saying, Fred Mitchell. Don't take it personal. This is not a personal conversation. We're not interested in your personal business, although you seem to be so interested in mine. We're not interested in your personal business. We're interested in the fact that this country is falling apart and you guys don't know what to do. Because you are so busy raping and robbing every ministry in this country. You are stealing the $3 billion through contracts. You are overpricing contracts to get the money out of the treasury. And we're tired of that because there's things we need in this country, man. You can't build a country for our children to come home to. You're an idiot. $58 million on travel? Renting buildings when we have the capacity to just build buildings. $25 million a year to rent a building that you could have built for $2-3 million. If that isn't an idiot, nothing is. Someone explain that to me, please. That one right there. You're going to spend millions of dollars a year to rent a building that you could have built for a couple $1 million. Make that make sense to me. Anyone? No one? Jesus. We're in trouble as a nation, and Iram Lewis decided that this party has the vision, and there's an opportunity for him to actually make a change. Now, I want to say this to all of you, and this is very important. I want you to understand this. The FNM is about to release some candidates to you. All right? Let me see the names. I normally don't read things I haven't confirmed, but these are the names that are flying around there. So I just want you to hear these names. And the constituencies, they said they're going to be representing. Okay? So these are the people who hate this country so much that they want to bring the FNM back so that Ransom can continue to rape and rob this country. Oh, and by the way, the FNM blocked me from their Facebook page. I've never commented on there, never posted anything on there. They just literally blocked me from their Facebook page. This is funny. That's how petty they are. Before I get you names, y'all are witnessing the most petty politician in the history of this Bahamas. If y'all put Michael Pintar there, I'm just telling you the experience of myself and other persons in that party. Y'all have been warned. Y'all have been warned. Y'all are going to see if y'all dream about putting Michael Pintar there. I'm not talking about his personal dues. I'm talking about his leadership and how he deals with stuff. Y'all are going to see. I don't want to sit here talking negative about anyone, but I have to warn you. Y'all are not gonna like what y'all get. Don't mind the acting, the playing so that he could get there. Y'all are gonna see. They went to court to silence all FNMs. I don't know how that could pass in court. They went to court to muzzle all FNMs. No FNM can say anything negative about another FNM or be charged with contempt of court. Who would do that? Who would do that? Y'all watch. You were warned. If you put him there, and when he starts to deal with you, don't call me. You were warned. FNMs know what I'm talking about. But anyway, let's go back. All right. So this list is going around. Says Freetown is going to be Geraldine Lewis is going to run in Freetown. I guess Diagla didn't get it, but Geraldine Lewis is what they're saying for Freetown. They're saying marathon is going to be Dr. Jacqueline Penn Knowles. Dr. Jacqueline Penn Knowles. South Beach is saying it's going to be Jamal Moss. Jesus. Jamal Moss and Michael Pintard founded Bahamas News Mobile. All right. I was there when they was having conversations about it. Okay. So Jamal Moss and Michael Pintard started Bahamas News Mobile when Ingram was in opposition. All right. So now they're saying he's going to run in South Beach, but I see him, even though that says that, I see him campaigning in Tall Pines. So I don't know why this says South Beach. Carmichael, they're putting Arinthia Komalafe there. Arinthia Komalafe has run against the PLP and FNM for over decades. She's told us how corrupt and evil the FNM is, and now she's saying vote for them. So if you vote for and trust a person, and this is something that I respect Iram Lewis for, he said, I can't go to the PLP because I've been speaking negatively about them and exposing their corruption for these amount of years. How could I then go to them? I respect that. It's a man. I respect that. Corinthia Komalafe convinced us to trust her and listen to her about the FNM. Now she's running with them. Garden Hills, D'Angelo Ferguson is the name that's going around. Angliston, Heather McDonald is the name that's going around. West Grand Bahama, Daquan Swain. He's a young man who ran independent several times. And he was convincing everyone that the FNM was not the way. The FNM was nonsense. It was garbage. And now he is there trying to run for them. Kalani, Lincoln Deal Jr. is running there. Seabreeze, Maxine Seymour. Pinewood, Denari Roll. I think that's their deputy chairman or vice chairman, something like that. I think he works to water and sewage. So they're sending him to Pinewood. They were juggling who they were going to send there. At one point, they wanted to send Shannon Dawn, etc. But of course, Pintard told Shannon Dawn he has to run in St. Barnabas. Pintard said, I'm running in Marco City. You will run in St. Barnabas. And Dwayne Sands got to run in Elizabeth. All right, go win your seat. I think he's doing that because he wants Shannon Dawn to lose. In any event, North Eleuthera, Philippa Kelly. South and Central Eleuthera, Ricky Mackey. Again. Mount Moriah, Marvin Deems. It's got to be a joke. North Abaco, Darren Henfield. Oh my God, please send them. There's 3 of them last set. Please send Ricky Mackey, Marvin Deems, Darren Henfield. Please send them. Thanks, FNM. Southern Shores, Denley Penn Mackey. Golden Isles, Brian Brown. East Grand Bahama, Kwesi Thompson. Marco City, Michael Pintard, Elizabeth Dwayne Sands. That's 19 persons that is swirling around today. Some of them I have confirmed, all of them I have not confirmed. All right. And so they're going to present to you 20 persons coming up shortly. Right? They said by May 1st. None of these persons will have any say in their constituency. You see, some people say, oh, vote for the man, vote for someone who's doing good in their constituency. Then they'll have a little voting thing and say, how great thing and say, how good did this person do in their constituency? How did that person do? It doesn't matter who they put there. They're going to bring these new people and say, oh, we got a bunch of new people and we're the bridge to the future, etc. These people are going to only be able to do what they're told. They will have no say in what happens in this country. They'll have to sit there, shut up, and let the beneficiaries of the FNM rape this country. They will have to sit there and watch as they gang rape this nation. They will be able to do nothing. Don't be impressed with anything, with their CV, with their resume, with what they say they can do or can't do. Don't be impressed because they will not be able to do anything. but sit down and do as they're told. Don't be fooled. Bahamas, you are warned. While we're not really impressed with what we see there, you were warned. Don't let them come with the same thing. Oh, this new. One gentleman in Freeport said to me, he said he's going to vote for us, but he said, you know, he was always there for them. But the thing is, he said, but you can't blame Pindad. Pindad wasn't there. You see, they use our ignorance of politics against us. That's why they keep us dumb as it relates to politics. Pindad was there. It's called collective responsibility. The cabinet decisions together, not the prime minister. The cabinet. It's collective responsibility. They are in it together. Don't mind them spreading this nonsense that, minister's doing it by herself. He was a one-man band. That's not true. It's a lie. And if it was the truth, why didn't you stand up? If you were concerned about the fact that people were being locked down, didn't have no water or grocery in their house, and lockdowns without, why didn't you as a man stand up, Pintard? Why didn't you on principle say, Minister, you're not going to do that to the people of Marco City? If you didn't care about the rest of the Bahamas, you could have said, Minister, no. Marco City people need to be able to get notice, and they need to get water and food in their house. So don't tell me Minister was running things. Because you could be a man and stand up for your people. The cabinet decided to raise VAT to 12%. Not Minister. The cabinet. The cabinet decided to hide all those building materials. Not Minister. Pintard and Dwayne Sands and Shannon Dawn, all of y'all decided to hide the building materials from Grand Bahama and from Abaco. All of y'all. So it's time to repent. Don't let them fool y'all. All right? So that's where we are. And so right now, all you're about to get is they're going to come and call some names and say, this is the new this and this is the new that, like they always do. And then behind the scenes, the same players, the same players, the same players, the same players. Frankie say for his grandchildren, the same players. Farmers wake up. And so there's some people who are confused over the Iram Lewis thing. They don't know, what it means, etc. I hope I was able to give you a good civics lesson today. I hope. Please don't listen to talk show hosts. Some of them really don't like us. Don't pay attention to them. If you have questions, come to me. Now, the rumor mill is going to start going crazy because the only way they know how to deal with this stuff is to attack. Start spreading lies, start confusing you. That's the only way they know how to deal with this stuff. Ladies and gentlemen, don't let them fool you. All right? They can make up all kind of rumors. Lincoln do this, Lincoln say that. Oh, Lincoln joining with Minister. Lincoln joining with Brave. Lincoln, we see Lincoln having dinner with Brave. All kind of rumors and stuff is going to come out. Y'all don't be distracted with that nonsense, yeah? They don't want you to have what's yours. It's simple as that. I want you to have what's yours. That's why I'm fighting. That's why I'm sleeping on the jail cell. On top of a urine-stained floor. You all wake up. All right, so the line is open, 803-5995, 803-5995, the number. Let me put it up there so you can see it. Good afternoon, caller. You're live.
Good afternoon, Mr. Bain. How you doing?
I am alive. How you doing?
Good afternoon, Mr. Bain. Are you there?
Yes, I'm here. Go ahead.
All right. I'm calling to congratulate COI members and everybody, your family, with new member in Parliament. And I also have a question. Isn't it normal for each party to be represented in the Senate also? If you're in the lower house, shouldn't one at least be in the higher house?
Yes.
Like a senator?
Yes.
I was just making sure. This is Basil Light one. Okay, thank you very much.
Okay.
Just making sure. You
Stay
have
tuned.
a nice day and good job.
All right. Thank you.
Okay,
Stay
sir.
tuned.
All right.
All right. Yes, he's on to something. We on to that. Stay tuned. Good evening, your live caller. Go ahead.
Yes, good afternoon, Bombs. Good afternoon, Mr. Bain. Mr. Bain, I was having a conversation with one of my brothers, and we were talking about the time during the pandemic, that all the monies that were collected during the Minister administration, when the government's ready to come home, that they had to purchase a visa to come home to the Bahamas.
That was illegal. That was unconstitutional. That was wrong. And the visa thing was connected to party cronies. That was corruption on the F&M's part. So Pinta talking about the PLP administration, they were behaving the same.
So when Dr. Minnis, when the former governors of Dr. Minnis and those was wanted to implement the VAT tax to take it up, did Pinta start up against implementing higher VAT taxes on the people?
No. He stood with Minnis in allowing VAT to be put on the backs of Bahamian people.
Wow. And it's so cool. And because I heard you one time ago mention that you had the place of God was the Road Commission that Hancho.
Yes.
Hancho was giving food all the time. Salvation Army giving food all the time. The different church charity groups giving food all the time. But millions of dollars was given to the Holorescos to give food to the Bahamian people. Where's the rest of the money?
Yeah, and of course, the first thing Pinta did when he became leader was defend the Holorescos. They had, gotten paid millions of dollars for this food distribution thing. Why didn't you give that to like a Bishop Henschel or Hands for Hunger or someone or even the singing bishop?
So that means to tell me that all of our tax monies are being, the F&M only give money to the oligarchs to control.
Yeah, so they controlled it and they paid them to do the distribution, and then they bought it from oligarchs. They made sure they funneled the money to their wholesale companies. What is his name? Rupert Roberts from Super Value said he offered to give it to them at wholesale prices, and they refused. But they wanted to funnel that money straight to the F&M oligarchs. And that's what they did.
All right, one more thing. Pindad was in charge of Bamsey.
Mm-hmm.
Where is Bamsey today? I don't know what the Minister of Agriculture or whatever.
Michael Pintard was the worst Minister of Agriculture in Bahamian history. He was not able to keep cabbage and tilapia alive. Things died under him. I heard him talking the other day about issuing crown land, because everything he hears saying, he's going to repeat it to the public as if it's from the F&M, as if people aren't listening. But if you was in charge of crown land when you were Minister of Agriculture, because they have crown land as just for agriculture, you didn't give crown land to anybody. When you were there, Minister couldn't stop him. He is the Minister of Agriculture. He has some that's assigned to him. Now, regular other crown land ministers, got to be there. but he's the Minister of Agriculture. He could have assigned Crown land. Did he? No, he did not.
Has any one of them ever stood up and say, listen, we have the natural resources in the country. Let's give our people some money. Let's empower our people. And no member of Parliament ever stood up. You know what I realized? That Iram Lewis just had enough. He saw the corruption. He saw where the PLP nor the FNM wanted to support the mass majority of the people to empower them. And so, you know what Iram Lewis did? He fired the FNM. That's how I see it.
Yeah, and so I want to say this. That's a little bit incorrect. Someone did stand up. The FNM did stand up, and they did say that they did natural resources. They expressed that. You're not getting your carbon credit. So they did stand up, but they stand up for the wrong thing. And so they stood up against the Bahamian people to say that you're not getting it. Yeah, so Doreen Science expressed that. Michael Pintard says if they give you money, all you can do is stay home and do what he just do. Smoke dope and drink Stitchy or whatever he was saying. I don't even know what Stitchy is. Something help me with that.
He said that at the by-election.
Yeah, see, what's a Stitchy? Because I don't drink and I don't do drugs.
Yeah, he said that at the by-election.
Someone on this live, please tell me what a Stitchy is, because Michael know what that is, but I don't know what that is. I don't do the things he just do. All right, so what's a Stitchy?
Maybe that's why you went to Zonderland 3 times. Anyway, that's another
Man, you can't say them things on my.
No, I apologize. I took that backwards.
I separate myself from what you just said. Even though Michael Pintard told me he had mental issues before dealing with drugs, etc. All right, so yeah, but you can't say them things about him on my show.
Yeah, I apologize. I take it back. I said it irresponsibly. So
everyone is saying Stitchy is Guinness. So Guinness is okay. That's a health drink. Yeah, that's.
Yeah, he should stay home. If you give them $100, they're gonna stay home, drink a Stitchy, and smoke a blunt.
Yeah. So that's what he just do.
Give them no money.
Yeah.
He said it at the by-election.
Yeah. So in other words, y'all ain't getting nothing. None of this. This is reserved for Brent Simonet, the Hall of West Coast, etc. Y'all ain't getting none of this. And they made that clear. All right. Now you talk about Iram Lewis. There's some people who feel that Iram Lewis only left because he wasn't getting a nomination. They never told him that he wasn't getting a nomination. Many people felt that they wasn't getting a nomination, and then they get it. All right. They told the PLP was saying that Obi Wilson wouldn't get a nomination. All right. Everyone knew that. Brave Davis didn't want to give him a nomination, but he stuck it out and he got the nomination. All right. So rumors swirling don't mean you're not getting a nomination. Shannon Cartwright in 17 thought he wasn't getting a nomination. In fact, he was the last to get the nomination other than Brent Simonet. And so them spreading rumors don't mean you're getting it or you're not getting it. All right. So the FNM never informed Iram Lewis, who I think is on this live right now. I think I saw a comment from him. So you all say hello to Iram Lewis if you're on here. They never informed him that he was not being nominated. All right. They never informed him of that. And the conversation started long before that was an issue. All right. I can see that Iram Lewis was more, to me, concerned about the country, not about necessarily just about the FNM and what's going on. And there are other MPs who feel the same way. And we'll see if they have the kind of courage that Iram Lewis has. All right. But he was concerned about the country, and that's not the FNM he grew up in.
Yeah, because you know what I've recognized over the years is that when the PLP is in office, the PLP take care of PLP. When the FNM is in office, they take care of FNMs. But what about the Rasta, what about the Shanti and them Rasta Ferry and the Island persons who don't vote? Like you have the 7 members, they don't vote in general elections. And the Jehovah's Witnesses who don't all the humans who are disenfranchised by both of these administrations, they do nothing for these people.
Yeah. Yeah.
It is shameful. Our country and our people don't need to be.
Some Rastas voted for us last time, and we're looking forward to them voting for us again this time.
Yeah.
All right?
Yeah.
So I got to run. Thanks for your call, man.
Yeah, thank you for the
All right.
call.
803-5995 is the number. You're going to see a lot of paid trolls putting a lot of information out there. You're going to see a lot of paid trolls, all right, putting information out there. And so they're paying them to distract you, to keep you poor and uneducated, to keep this country broke. All right. So don't pay attention to them. They're going to say all kind of stuff, bring up all kind of fake nonsense. You all stay focused. All right. They told me there's a prophet who's prophesied to me that, 3 times in 2023, 3 times. Someone sent me the screenshot that I would be the next prime minister. And then now she's saying that Pinta could be the next prime minister. So some people were confused. Because the lady said that God changes his mind. Let me tell you something. All right. I don't really care about prophecies, because if it's going to happen, it's going to happen anyway, whether it's prophesied or not. All right. But God says, a prophet, if when they give a prophecy, if it come to pass, God will not let his word come back to him vain. God don't change his mind. All right. When it comes to prophecy, in terms of his actions, he could change some things with his actions. All right. He may say, okay, I'm going to destroy Sodom and Gomorrah if you find me 50 good men. All right. Or good people, or 10 good people. All right. But when it comes to his prophecies, if he says that I anoint David and David is to be king, I don't care how long that takes, David will be king. God don't change his mind. But if someone prophesies something and it don't come to pass, the Bible says they are not a prophet. Don't even respect them. That's what the Bible says. So take the word. All right. Let's go to phone lines. Oh my God, sorry about that. I accidentally hung up on them. Let me just call them back. Oh Lord, I'm sorry about that, caller. You have to call back. I accidentally pressed the wrong button. I was distracted by the story from the FM. They had a live today. Of course, I didn't watch the live. This live is they blocked me from the FNM's page. That's how petty this man is. If you talk him a dictator, you ain't see nothing like what's to come if you all dream about putting Pintad in there. Don't listen to me, Don't listen. Put him in there and see what happens. Put him in there and see what happens. Okay, the caller call back, then I can play something from this FNM thing today. Good afternoon, you're live.
Hey, good afternoon, Mr. President.
How you doing?
All is well, sir.
What's
I
up?
also want to say congratulations to the COI, for the action. What displayed last week it was, in store. I also want to say congratulations and welcome to Mr. Lewis. I happen to be, I always had him down to be an honorable man, and he continues to prove it.
Thank you, man.
Because what the PLP and the FNM keeps missing, right? To be an honorable man, right? It doesn't mean that you're supposed to succumb to whatever your party wants you to do, despite it doesn't benefit the people who elected you, right? So when you can see a man stand against his party for the people, that's what it means to be honorable in my opinion.
Yeah.
You understand? But Mr. President, I want to find out from you something. You said the PLP is spending $180-something million, right? This, I don't know if it's throwing you the bill of gold inside Grand Bahama.
Right? Not Grand Bahama, just in West End.
Just in West End.
Yes.
I wanted to ask you, is it possible for Grand Bahama and Abaco to be connected in any modern way possible?
Yes, we're already working on plans for that. Speaking to a company, we are going to connect 2 islands in our first turn. And then if the people love what we presented and that we provided our promises and they give us a second turn, we're going to connect all islands to the Bahamas. But we're going to connect Nassau and Eleuthera. And we're also going to connect Grand Bahama and Abaco.
Yes, and your please don't forget what you call it, Mango Key and South Africa, what I felt should have been connected from Linden was there because, I don't know why they find ways to stagnate these islands. And even, I think even Long Island and then close enough to also be connected, right? Because the type of commercialization between the back and forth between those, the type of empowerment when you can move from one island to the next, even if it means you have to pay a toll to get to that island.
Yeah. And Florida did it with Key West, and so that's miles and miles of bridges they connected Key West islands with, and so we can do the same thing here. A lot of our islands are only like 10, 15 miles apart. So we can do it. We're going to do it. We have to start thinking big.
Kudos to the COI, man, because I know the COI is going to be a party of revolution and doing things that the Bahamian people have never seen before, because the sky is the limit. Have a wonderful day. And stay safe, sir, and kudos to the COI again.
Thank you, my brother. Appreciate you, man. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, remember again that we're going to be in Grand Bahama. We're going to have a general meeting in Grand Bahama. It's going to be an amazing event. We want you to be a part of that. Make sure that everyone is there. Don't come by yourself. Bring someone with you. Let's book that place out again. We're going to be at the YMTA. Don't confuse that with the YMCA. It's not the YMCA. It's the Young Men's Travel Association. So YMTA in Hunters. All right. The YMTA in Hunters is where we are going to be. 7 p.m. on Thursday. We're going to present a couple new candidates to you, and we're going to introduce your member of parliament to you. Be there. Be a part of history. We are bringing him back to Grand Bahama. We want you to be a part of history. Come there and be a part of this. All right. Somebody says 7 miles for Key West. One of the bridges of Key. There's a lot of bridges on different islands. One of them is 7 miles, but there's a lot of bridges just like that. All right. Good afternoon. You're live.
Mr. Bang.
Yes.
Yeah, we was talking about that long time. Okay, the damn bridges.
Yes.
All we, because what that will bring to, like the caller said, toll, going and coming, and that will open the doors for tourists when they come to the Bahamas. They could rent a car, and all they could do is just drive from one island to the next, and that toll will cover that bridge in about 3 years. That will be paid for.
No, not even 3 years. That will become a tourist. The way that we're doing it is going to become a tourist attraction. We're not starting off with a bridge. We're starting off with a overhead cable car system. All right, where you're going to be able to be transported. There's going to be one system that can take your vehicles, et cetera, et cetera. So you can go with your car. They'll come on a different cable, and you'll come on the passenger vehicle. And so you can make that trip every day, and you can live in Eleuthera and work in Nassau, or vice versa, if you want to, because it travels at high speeds. And so that's something that we're going to be doing. Like I said, we're already talking to the company. They're already doing it in Dubai. I've shown you all the videos, et cetera, already. So these are plans we're making to do major stuff in this country, not potholes and electricity 50 years later. Come on, man. But thanks for your call, man.
But I don't, Mr. Bain, I don't see myself moving from back and forth from Exuma to Long Island.
Yeah, man.
I don't see that. I don't see that setup, that system already in place.
All right. Thanks for your call, man. We're gonna make it happen. Good evening, call you live.
Hello.
Yes, I'm here.
Yeah, good afternoon, Mr. Bain, the one and only.
Yes, good afternoon.
Yeah, man, I calling from Freeport, man. I just wanna congratulate to the COI team.
Thank you, man.
And I want to send a special one out to Mr. Iram Lewis, man.
Awesome.
Job well done.
Awesome. You gonna be there on Thursday?
Man, all day.
All right. Don't come alone. Bring someone with you.
Man, come on. Listen, at the gas stations, they ring in COI in Freeport.
Wow.
At the parts store inside AID, they ring in COI.
Wow.
So I'm saying this to you, so I have something I need to answer from you while I have you on the phone.
Go ahead.
Okay, I know you mechanic savvy. So a 1,500 truck and a 2,500 truck, right?
Yeah.
What's the difference between those two trucks?
The size of the engine.
Okay, so why the government, the PLP and the F&M government been doing this to us, right? They charging the 2,500, they charging you $700 to license that. And the 1,500, they only charging you like $200, and they charging you the same amount of money as a dump truck. To license a dump truck.
Wow.
So a 2,500 truck.
Wow.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. This nonsense has to stop. We're not gonna be a country dependent on taxes anymore. So all of these little tricks they do to raise more money, all of that is gonna end. We're gonna make money from our natural resources and our carbon credits, etc. So
I applaud you.
Yeah, so we're gonna change that. Not that you won't pay any licensing fee, but it's going to be a reasonable licensing fee to license your car. And that money is going to be directed to paving your roads and providing you service, making sure the stoplight works, et cetera, et cetera.
And you know what I want to say to you, sir, because I don't want to take too much of your time, right? Jack Hayward, which was Edward St. George's partner, right? Jack Hayward wanted to put a bridge from Freeport to Abaco and call it Grabaco. And the people in Abaco, a few of them, I guess they didn't approve of it. But we were supposed to have a bridge here from Freeport to Abaco probably 20, 25 years ago.
Yeah.
And I'm looking forward within my lifetime, because I don't want to die before you come to power, sir. I want to be living so I can enjoy it.
Yes.
Right? In my lifetime, I'm looking for everything the COI has to offer. So we all Bahamians can benefit from it, and the foreigners that are here and they are humble, I would look forward to them benefiting from it if they come the right way, like you say. And thanks again, sir.
Thank you, my brother. So we're gonna make this happen, man. We need real projects that make sense now, man. I mean, them bragging about paving roads. You don't see no other countries them talking about paving road and electricity. Come on, man. Keeping electricity on? No, man. Come on, man. We can't settle for this no more. We can't. So let's say a little what Pindar had to say. They blocked me today, so I didn't get to hear anything he had to say. I know y'all ain't really interested in nothing you have to say, but let me see if there's anything I need to correct before, you know.
My brother, former leader, former prime minister of the human minutes. Nothing could be further from the truth.
Okay, the phone rang that I'm on, so I can't continue to play it. So let me just answer the call. Good evening, you're live.
Hey, what do you say, Lincoln?
Right here, man, you're live.
Yes, sir. Yeah, listen, with the fire in Freeport, and then like the fires would occur on the other islands, right?
Yes.
Like you say, some of our islands, they don't have fire trucks or whatever. Just saying, whenever the COI comes to power, right? We would outfit the islands with the fire trucks, but same time, what I would suggest too, we surrounded by water, so I would say, add the fire department with a seaplane if that's feasible. I don't know.
Yeah, we need, because we have a lot of we're dealing with carbon credits. We have to protect our forests, and there is money available to us to protect the forest. These imbeciles that are running this country know this. We can raise money in blue carbon credits or in green carbon credits for forests to protect our forests. So we can get that $30 million plane that can dump water on the forest. We can get those, and it will be paid for by the carbon credit. We can get all the fire trucks we want through our carbon credit system. The money is already there. It's there. And protect our environment. Money is already there for it. These imbeciles don't know what to do. They are so busy concerned with other contracts to steal money from the treasury. They don't care about no fire trucks.
Right. No, they don't care.
We are going to be flooded with fire trucks. We're going to be flooded with solar power plants because the money through carbon credits is there to get it.
And you believe me, I can go. If you believe me, if you go to Cat Island, you see the airport in Cat Island. You believe me, I see people outside sitting on crates.
Yeah.
In Cat Island Airport.
I seen it. I was there.
In Cat Island Airport, they sit on crates outside.
Yeah. All right. Thanks for your call, man.
All right.
And they're stealing money there again. $18 million for that little small building at Colin Airport. 803-5995. You can call regular line or WhatsApp. Let's go to WhatsApp caller. What caller you live?
Good afternoon, Mr. Bean. How you doing?
I'm awesome.
Yeah, one point. It's just so ironic that all they did to try to keep you from COI from renting the seat in Freeport and what that is, West Bimini?
Yeah, Restaurant Mom and Bimini.
Right. And it still came to fruition.
Look at God, eh? Look at God.
Same thing I said.
God is in control, you know.
They can't stop us. They can't stop us.
We doing this. The change is here, my brother.
They can't stop us. It's hard to stop what's supposed to be.
Yeah. All right, my brother.
You continue pressing on, man. We got your back.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it. All of Grand Bahama, make sure you are there. Make sure you come out. Make sure that you are there on Thursday. Come and be with us. Just hang out. Even if it's overfull, you hang out outside. Let's be there together. I'm going to spend all Thursday evening with you. All right. So we're going to be down there. You're going to see all of us. It's going to be an excellent event. So make sure you come out and hear a vision, a real vision for the bombers. Someone said, oh, there's this pie in the sky. Everything that was accomplished that is meaningful in the world was considered impossible. When someone started talking about having a carriage without a horse, they sounded stupid. A horseless carriage, that's now called a car. They were like, how are you going to power this car? How are you going to power this horseless carriage without a horse? It doesn't make sense. Caller, coming to you right now. When they invented the train, they said the train couldn't work because it was going too fast. It would go so fast that you would stick to the seat and you would have nosebleeds and it could kill people because the speed was too fast, too much G-force. You know how much speed they was talking about? 15 miles per hour. We have humans who could run faster than that today. Hold the line, regular line caller, you're next. And so everything that's worth doing, people say it's impossible. Optimists always sound smart. Pessimists always sound smart. Optimists always get things done. All right? Always remember that. Pessimists always sound smart. They could always tell you why you can't do something. But the optimists always get things done. So you can listen to these people saying you can't do this, you can't do that, you can't do it. You can't do it. But we can get this done as a people. We can have some vision for our nation, man. We can have some projects that we could do and be proud of, that the people from the rest of the world could come to see. Well, you heard they did this in the Bahamas? Let's go see. Just like Dubai did. We could build the tallest building. We could have a city that works. Everyone want to go see Dubai. And we right next door and next to America, and we still scraping 10 million tourists. And we proud of that. What's up, caller? You live? Go ahead. All right, what's up, caller? Go ahead.
All
right, not to you next.
I don't know if you could hear me.
Yeah, go ahead.
But you is still nice back down, and I just really think and reason with myself, be real with myself. Do you know every prime minister did something against the Bahamian people?
You said every prime minister did something against Bahamian people? Oh, Lord, you breaking up so much. Why don't hang up and call right back, because you're breaking up bad. All right, just hang up and call right back. I'll get the other caller. Call you live.
Good afternoon, Mr. Bain. How you doing?
I'm awesome.
Good. I'm calling in because you're doing an awesome job, and we love you.
Thank you. I love you too.
Okay, my COI family. God bless you.
All right. God bless you. All right. All right. So if you're in Grand Bahama, make sure that you are there next week, Thursday. Okay, let's get this other call. Call you live.
Hello?
All right. We can hear you better now.
All right. Yeah, man. I was just saying, and I want you to think about something. Every prime minister we had did something to the Bahamian people. And I don't think we never ever really realized what they say based on how these two-party system run through. What was one of Hubert Ingram's biggest line to us when he said the Patelco? Did he say something like Bahamians must not apply?
Bahamians need not apply.
Yes. Perry Christie, what was one of his favorite line with the gambling bill? He never stepped down because we didn't vote for that, right?
Yeah.
And you could move freedom. And this to me is like more than serious, because you know, I was in the States and I was talking, my best friend, daddy's an FBI. And let me show Bahamian people if they think the United States dumb to what's going on. And I said this once and I'll say it again. I don't know if I might not be old enough, but I hear there was a point in time when you used to get passport with indefinite visa. Is that correct?
Yes. I had one.
Do you know now they do the visas in years?
Yes.
Now, I want you to go to Google Translate and watch what they have for our English, and they slash it. It was just English, right? When they say what is our premier language, now they slash it. You understand what I'm trying to say?
Mm-hmm.
You have a prime minister now that's sitting. See, this fight, what they doing, I did everything against you based on what they trying to do.
Right.
Because I look at it like this. Whoever came before you and whatever you pick up, something got to give somewhere, because it got to be like in my generation where we see that every prime minister was against me. Mm-hmm. Now I sit back, I call it from Freeport, and there's something, you coming back and forth, but there's something when you talk, I don't think you mention enough. So to the wider Bahamian, let me say this. Do you know, out to the shipyard, right?
Right.
Out to every big place that they have what they do in industrial. Do you know there's hardly no Bahamians employed? Only probably one or two are on contracts.
Yes, it's graceful.
Every apartment. One of these days, I want just drive you around. I ain't talking about around the city. I want to carry you through areas where that you walk. People from Ukraine, people from the Philippines. I'm talking about all over. Who comes here? And this thing just started. This was like in the Ingram days, and it's getting worse.
Yes.
So you face us out, right? So and this is a serious thing, because you ain't speaking on it. I listened to you because this would be my first time voting, and I see somebody with talking it, but I still heard Freeport is a state where no other island should mark this island. No other island. You see what they billing out to that cruise line where they billing out here? That cruise line with everybody jumping up around about.
Yeah.
You see the wall they putting up to keep us up?
Yeah.
You been out there yet?
Yeah.
Did you see security that you can't? It almost remind me when you're celebrating your own port. Now that I sit back, they got a fence there. You understand? Like, so what I'm saying is when you squeeze me and I don't have no job. There's no jobs in Freeport. And if you look at the people who they bring in here to well or whatever the case may be, I'm asking you now, why you can't pair somebody up if you saying I can't do it? Why you can't pair somebody up with me, train me for 3 to maybe 5 months, and then get rid of the person and then, make it a policy. Then I have this big thing about the barges that would never stop digging in Freeport. Here's what has bugged me. I don't know if you know the young gentleman in Burkina Faso in Africa. You know about him, right?
Of course.
He tear up. Did you know he tear up every deal? Let me tell you why I say this, because it never came to me until I hear you start talking it, and then I get a little interest. I was hearing you here and there, then your voice wasn't loud. Then it started to get loud. Like when you sit in your car and you play sweet music at a certain, but then when you enter it, you turn it up where that bass kick.
Yeah.
Now, look at you, right? So now I ask myself, why we arguing with Brent Sivan again? When that never, if I as the owner of the land, part of this, I was part of that. I mean, I get stake in it because I was born, my mother is a behemoth. The mother before her was a behemoth. How much? You understand? I have no bloodline other than this country. Here's what I say, but I never, ever had a chance to give a voice in how our minerals was going. I have 2 things to ask you and see how you answer that. Why can't, let's just say if you get in power, why can't you destroy every contract that was given to people? I don't care what the lawyers say. And then put it to a referendum to the people if they want our mineral. Because don't tell me you digging out something from when I was going to school and you still doing it night and day. And that contract saying I ain't getting nothing. Here's the thing. Did anybody ever care you instead of going 8 mile walk? See, I want to see you because instead of going left, did anybody, going right, did anybody ever turn your vehicle and go on left so you could see the ground? And when they dynamite the house, then would clock it? See, you never go on left. They turn you right, would carry you into 8 mile walk. But take that barge and then go left, and I will show you the hole that they leave and they blast in. And everybody in Freeport knows it. You understand what I'm trying to say?
Yes.
So my question to you, see, because I never voted before, and I want to. I hear you, I feel you, but this is one burning question. From each, I sit down and I listen to each prime minister in their lifetime would say something against the people of the Bahamas. I don't care about people voting for party. You ought to go that way because that's a party thing. But here's what I concerned about. If you look at my son and my daughter would leave in the island, I'm telling you things like they never come back because they just can't see it. So where is something that we believe in as being people? When I look at you making everybody with DNA color, look at the people with representing the land they selling, white. You look at everybody here who get a job. You know the only people with celebrating on Friday, and I want to drive you around. Forget about the talking point. I want to drive you around. Look at the people with celebrating. The Chinese. The guys where they bring from the Ukraine and these ones where they bring it to this island and flood. And as hundreds come in and they go, they just keep flipping that. And nobody seems to monitor that. And here's where I say you could kill Pintado on all of this. He was there on all of this. See, us Freeport being stupid, because we could hear him talk all of that talk he wanted. We know his age, and we know how long he been in Parliament. So he have a record. And the record state that I ain't even talking about annex. I'm talking about the jobs. And here's the hard thing I can leave you with, Lincoln.
Mm-hmm.
Even the bottom jobs, behemoths get the squeeze out of. Because now that you ain't bringing in no scientists, you ain't bringing in no thinkers like to say, let me bring somebody here who is Bill Carson or Bill. You ain't bringing in none of these type of people, but you bringing in a lot of what? What the one thing you always hear them talk about? Laborers. And you pick the laborers from the worst country in the world.
Yeah.
The worst country in the world, you pick the laborers from. Now, when you bring here, there's a lot of things were being thrown around except the truth about these people. There's a lot of things what you hear people talking about except the truth. And the truth is, it's easy because all you have to do, go YouTube it. This ain't back in the 80s when you couldn't hear and you only had to listen to a minister to try and tell you what is the truth or what is, you catch what I'm trying to say?
Yes.
And now, Freeport, if you look around, I don't know what is in Nassau. Nassau speak for Nassau, Freeport, Labor String, we speak for Freeport. Even if you say you want to go to the lowest thing, like they say, to cut grass, who are you competing with? You understand what our level's about? So my cry ain't a talking point. What I want to hear from you is what you gonna do with the contracts, what all the guys have, what to say, okay, this is this, the mining, what they doing. No, I feel like to come before me, how the hell somebody could take something from the Bahamas and gain off it and we get the lower tier of that?
All right, caller, I want you to save some. Save some for Thursday. You say a lot there. Save some for Thursday. I want to see you on the mic when we get.
I can come sift you up because if I want to vote, it ain't for none of these parties.
Right.
I say I sit in my car, and it's like you saying what I gotta say, but I want that base behind you. But I want you to answer, and I can stand back and listen. What you gonna do with the contract?
All right, I'll answer that.
That we didn't anticipate on that.
All right. Thank you. All right. Hold the line. What's up, call? I'll get you in a sec. He asked me a question about the contract. Listen, some contracts we will have to tear up because of corruption. And other contracts, I don't want Bahama Rock to stop. We don't have to get a new contract with them. We can let them start digging for us. They've been digging. They're going to continue to dig. Government can get money in different ways. Government can get money through taxes. We could force them to pay royalties. There's other things we want them to do. All right. So there's no contract with Modern Salt at this time. The PLP had talked about doing one, but there's no contract. And so we're gonna get one. In terms of the Aragonite, we're gonna make sure that they pay their fair share, renegotiate contracts, but we're also gonna go into that industry. All right. So there's a lot to unpack there, but I'll talk a lot about it more on Thursday when we get there. But where there are contracts that need to be tore up, we are going to do that. We have the courage to do it. And so we are going to get that done. You don't have to worry about that. There will be no advantage for anyone other than Bahamians in this country moving forward. All right? So don't share about that. We already have a plan for all of that. Everything we can expose just for saying its sake. All right? Because then they're going to know how you're coming at them. You have to be wise. All right? Everything we're not going to say ahead of time. Some things we're just going to do. All right? And I know some of y'all just want you to just say it because we used to politicians just talking, but that ain't us. All right? Everything ain't to say. Y'all know what our stance is. We've been exposing the national disaster situation. We've been exposing the legal immigration situation. We don't have nothing else to say. We are at the point now. We ain't protesting. We have nothing else to say. We coming to take this country and do what benefits Bahamians. Let me take some calls. Caller, go ahead.
Good afternoon, Mr. Bain.
Good afternoon. You're live.
Something that has queried me for a little while is when Trump started to state that he was going to do a reciprocal tariff on Bahamas. Why all of a sudden now all of our banks and different persons associated are now up in arms and stating that this is going to set us back some 20 and 30% when it's stated that we don't export anything other than crustaceans. That is something I've looked into.
Okay, thank you. I'll answer that right now. So in terms of the tariffs have different effects because when the price of something raises, the price of other things is going to rise. All right. So if the price of food, electronics, etc. raises, other people who have to use these services are gonna charge more. And so if the banks have to buy computers, they're gonna pay more for computers. They put that in the cost of their service. All right. So everything that they have to pay more for, they are now gonna put it in the price of certain things. All right. And this is why we should have been trying to be self-sufficient for a very long time. This is not the first time that this has happened. All right, Richard Nixon did the same kind of thing, but he did it with a view to decreasing the dollar value so that it would hurt his opponents. And he decreased the dollar value intentionally because what happens? A lot of countries have dollar value bonds and treasuries, et cetera, and so they bought it at one price, and if the price of it devalues, it hurts them. It doesn't hurt America because America can print as much dollars as they want to. So it hurts. That's what crashed Japan. And so Japan did a lot of trading with America. And so they were holding on US dollars, US dollar bonds, treasuries, etc. And when it went down, they lost. And that's what bankrupted them. Now their dollar is like 100 and something. Their yen is 100 and something dollars to one US dollar. It crashed their economy. And so Trump knows he's repeating what Nixon did, even by pulling it away from the gold standard. And so he's using tariffs also like Nixon did in order to accomplish this also. We can use this to advantage though, okay? And so if we still have the Caribbean Basin Initiative and we have to see how we negotiate that. And we are operating at a deficit with America, and their tariffs is to make sure that there's equality. We actually don't export to America. So our government should be negotiating with Trump to say, hey, we don't really export to you. And so this doesn't go for us. And then Trump's team should say, oh, yeah, not you, Bahamas. That's very simple. Also with the prices, next call, I'm going to come to you in a second. Also with the prices, with the fees that's put on the ships that's made in China. All right. China built from between 2020 and 2022, China built like 4,700, almost 5,000 ships. And so the other countries under them, South Korea and the other countries that are also shipbuilders, they built less. America only built that same period 12 ships. Okay, 12 ships. And so America is trying to get back into the ship industry because that's a national security issue. Because if America is dependent on ships made in China, they feel it's a national security issue. So Trump is trying to do things to empower America again. And so of those almost 5,000 ships that were built between 2020 and 2022 alone, now America is going to get $1 million every time one of them docks in America. Okay? And so 1 million times 5,000, that's a lot of money. That's $5 billion right there. That's not the other ships, the older ships and the newer ships, etc. All right. So, but we can take advantage of that. There are ships made in other countries, and we can have the ships because Freeport is already a port. We can have the Chinese ships come and drop their stuff off in Freeport. You change cargo ships. Which is what they do now, but they send them off with Chinese ships again. Change it to a ship that's not made in China. The Chinese still get to make some money from shipping, and then we ship to America, and then they avoid that big fee. Now the Bahamas can charge them a percentage of that 1 million to 3.5 million that they would have paid for docking in America. We can charge them a percentage of that, and they save money, and we benefit. We could make billions of dollars from this right now. This is not a problem. This is an opportunity. We should also be in the shipping business. It costs $55 million to buy one of those big cargo ships from China. Other countries have it for a little bit more. American ships were costing $300 million, and that's why everyone went to Chinese ships. That's why only 12 American ships were built. And so we could buy ships, assemble them here in the Bahamas, so that they're Bahamian-made ships, and we can actually now start shipping into America. Why aren't we in the shipping industry? Why aren't we shipping stuff? Why aren't we? Come on, Bahamas. Y'all, please, let's move from these jokey politicians who have no vision. Y'all, let's fight for this. Spread the word. That is billions of dollars in opportunity to be made right now because of Trump's tariffs and because of Trump's fees that he's putting on them. Y'all wake up. People normally don't ask me about my foreign policy, but I'm having meetings with persons from all around the world. We are ready to get this done now. I just had a meeting about this. That's why I have all the information in my head with people who are ready to get what I just said done now. Foreigners who want to partner with our sovereign wealth fund. They get a percentage, naming people get a percentage, and they get it done. They have the expertise, etc. that we don't have. They get it done. In every industry, they are waiting right now to work with us. But y'all got to wake up. Get rid of this red and yellow nonsense. We can move up, man. Let's go to the next caller. Caller, you live. Go ahead. Hi.
Hi, good evening. Very educational and insightful show. I just wanted to send out a clarion call to all Bahamians who are ready for real change, who is tired of the broken promises, and who are ready to see and experience better health care, better hospitals on our family islands, to those who believe that our children deserve first-class, world-class education, and to those who are ready for economic empowerment and ownership of the wealth that rightfully belongs to us, to those who want to secure the future for their children and their children's children, and to those who know that the natural resources of this land, our land, should benefit the true owners, the Bahamian people. I am calling on these people to stand with us, support our candidates, volunteer their time at the polls, and most importantly, my fellow Bahamians, you must register to vote. We have the power to change this nation. We have the power to change this nation. And look at where we are now. We have a voice in the House. And this comes through insisting and not giving up. We can have all that we need in this country to survive. Whatever happens on the outside of the world, we can make sure that we secure ourselves within this country. We need to move past
Good afternoon, my fellow Bahamians.
Of America sneezes, the Bahamas catches a cold.
Yes.
We need to start looking at food security. I am so past this thing where we are constantly, every single year, every single cycle, our limit is just paved roads and maybe contracts here and contracts there. We really need to push our country toward progress. So I'm calling on all of our fellow Bahamians. I don't care if you support or not. The most important thing is to focus on where this country is going. Register to vote. We have the Women's Alliance that is on course. We have the Men Alliance. The Youth Alliance has now taken up. If you are interested in joining these associations or organizations or becoming a member, sign up with the Coalition of Independence. Be a part of history, because I'm telling you, Bahamas, history is currently right now in the making. Be a part of this change. Thank you so much, Mr. Bean.
Thank you, Ms. Green. And I actually want to congratulate you on having the courage to do the debate. I know you had a headache that night, and you held firm, and a lot of us was concerned about you, but that shows real courage when you can push through no matter what you're going through. That's real courage. Thank you, man.
Thank you so much.
All right. Bye-bye. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that does it for tonight. But the tariffs are an amazing opportunity for us. There's a lot. Okay, we got other callers trying to get through. Let's just take them. Good evening, your live caller. Go ahead.
Hi, good afternoon.
Yes.
I was calling to find out. I'm currently right now in the United States.
Yes.
I'm in Indiana,
Mm-hmm.
and I would like to know where will be the best place to go and vote.
Any of our embassies you'll be able to go to vote, and so you have to be registered, and you can go to any one of our registries to vote. Okay.
Okay.
Why did I say registries? Any of our embassies.
I'm registered in the Bahamas, so do I have to re-register again? Or?
No, you registered for the last election. You're good to go. You're good to go. Just go to the embassy and let them know that you want your absentee ballot. That's what I'm going to call it.
Absentee ballot. Okay.
Yes, your overseas ballot. All right.
So the closest embassy to me would be what? Chicago?
Washington, probably.
Washington. Oh, okay.
DC.
All right.
I assume. All right. Thank you, man. Good evening, you're live, caller. Good evening, caller, you're live.
Yes. Hey, Mr. Man, how are you doing tonight, sir?
Awesome, man.
I was just calling the first and foremost. I mean, I don't need no introduction. I'm sure y'all recognize my voice, but first and foremost, I was just calling just to say thank you to Mr. Iram for what he did, for crossing the aisle like that. That took courage, for standing up for the Bahamian people. I just want to congratulate him on that. Second of all, you know, we have a foreigner who's saying about he is the voice of the Bahamas or whatever, when he's saying that you have to go through the Haitian votes. Now, this is what I want to know. Is the Patriots still working on this? Because we can't have these people stealing our elections.
Yes, they are, but they're going through the court process, and court processes take long. But we're going to be vigilant, and we got to do some stuff that I can't talk. And so we're going to be all over this, okay?
All right, thank you. That's what I want to know, because they think that they're going to steal this election, and I hope not.
Yeah, Bahamians, it's time for us to rise up.
I know the other politicians don't mind them being a part of our election because they feel as if that's a voting block for them. However, Bahamians should only be voting in this election.
Yes.
And every other election. So, Mr. President, I hope you hurry up, get it, and fix it all.
We're going to fix it. All right. Thanks for your call, man. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, I can't take any more calls. So, the big announcement that the FNM had today was that they were announcing that they're not going to allow Minister Run. There it is.
My brother, former leader, former prime minister, Dr. Iram. Nothing could be further from the truth. This party does not belong to any of us up here, or any of the officers of this party alone. It belongs to all of us. There is a place for Dr. Millis in the Free National Movement. Our former deputy leader, Desmond Bannister, there is a place in the Free National Movement for them. And those that supported them. Yes. And so I want to make that crystal clear. And we have made that known over and over again to our brothers and sisters. And the reason is simple. We've all built this organization together.
And so that is Michael C. Pintard. Yeah, that's Michael C. Pintard announcing that he's not going to run, the man who allowed him to run. There's a couple of things I want you to pay attention to. Pintard was always a puppet of Ingram Christie and Davis & Co., number one law firm. Ingram would always send him to run against Christie and Davis and tell him to not run against them hard. Don't win. Because he wanted them. He sent him to run out against Christie and told him, don't win. Here's campaign money. Don't campaign hard. Okay? There are people who are part of the CI who's a part of that team. And so we got a lot of information. And Pintard revealed certain things to me. But he was sent against Brave the same way. He was sent against Christie and against Brave to make sure they won. Is it that he's doing certain things to make sure that Brave gets his 2 terms like Ingram and Christie did? Is that what it is? Or is it so that if that doesn't happen, we still got a puppet in there that we swing it to? But I want you to pay attention to that. All right? Some people aren't going to accept what I'm saying. Some people are just caught up in party. They are hoping that they get some contracts. Some people feel that the COI is not ready to govern when we have a lot of professionals. some people ask, where is Iram Lewis placed in the COI? He's an engineer. He's an architect. We are building a new Bahamas. And we're going to announce our shadow ministers soon. They told me on one show they were saying that we released our shadow ministers. They were talking about tourism and whatever. We did not release any shadow ministers. We only released Vision 2030. And persons just read it off. But we're going to release our shadow ministers. That's the next thing. That's coming soon. But we're going to release our shadow ministers. And Iram Lewis is an engineer. All right? And so we have a skilled, respected architect engineer. We have the accountants that we need, accountants with an S. We have lawyers. We have bankers on our team. We have builders on our team. We have professionals from every walk of life, real professionals who can actually get things done. Or you can just go with that list I gave you just now from the F&M, who would just be puppets to make sure that Brent them get was theirs, or what they think is theirs. Choice is yours. It's your country. You could sell. You sell it for your bowl of porridge. Sell your birthright for the bowl of porridge if you want to. It's yours. You could keep voting for the people who are failing us. It's yours. But live with your decision. Don't cry. You take it. You sit down and take it. If you put Pinta there, you sit down and you take it. So what we got to do is fight. We got to fight to make sure that Brent's puppet doesn't get there. We got to fight. So the question is, are you all ready for a fight? So all of Grand Bahama, we want you to be there on Thursday. We're going to be there Thursday, 7 o'clock at the YMTA. Don't confuse that with the YMCA. It's not the YMCA. The YM Hunters. There, don't come by yourself. We're going to give you country. Oh, God. If you know Grand Bahama is, what I just told you today was just a little snippet of it. We are doing so much work and research. We can't talk about everything in these little short shows. The guy said he wanted me to talk about certain things. People who have this interest want to talk about that. They want to talk about that. Keep talking about immigration. Talk about this. Talk about this. Everyone wants to talk about everything. No. We just need to organize and take this country back and do what we have to do. All right? Do what we have to do. It's simple. So I stand with Mr. Iram Lewis. I stand with my deputy, who's been there in the trenches from day one. Don't know Dr. MacGyver used to be out there on those protests. From day one, from his being in evolution. She was right there. I stand with my chairman, who's been fighting and toiling. I stand with Maria Daxon and all of the candidates. I stand with my executives, who are making serious sacrifice. Serious sacrifice. I stand with them. Ladies and gentlemen, I stand with you. And so make sure you're there. Come be a part of history in Grand Bahama. Exuma will be coming soon. Stay tuned. And other islands, we're on our way. Ladies and gentlemen, we got some big things coming up in the next few months. You're going to be proud of your COI. That's all I'm going to say for now. But I'm going to leave you with a message from your chairman, and then I'll come back and say goodbye. All right? So this is your chairman's weekly address, and then I'll be right back.
Today is April 6, 2025. My name is Charlotte Green, National Chairman for the Coalition of Independence. My fellow Bahamians, this week has marked one of the most historic milestones in our nation's political journey and a defining moment for the Coalition of Independence. As the COI continues its bold journey toward a new Bahamas, the momentum is undeniable and the people's power is rising. During last week's sitting of the House of Assembly, MP Iram Lewis for Central Grand Bahama officially ended his tenure with the Free National Movement and announced that he is now aligned with the Coalition of Independence. My fellow Bahamians, This unprecedented move makes him the first sitting member of Parliament to cross the floor and join a third party. What does this mean for Parliament? Well, the status quo has been disrupted. What does this mean for the COI? Well, a growing force now recognized on the floor of Parliament, my fellow Bahamians. And what does this mean for the people? Real representation is within reach. This is what change in action looks like. My fellow Bahamians, tune in as COI leader Lincoln Bean breaks down the significance of this moment and what it means for the future of the Bahamas. This week's historic highlights: a new slate of fearless people, first candidates, has been approved. They represent the heart and soul of the Bahamian people. They are us. They are you. And we are ready to serve and not be served. The organization would also like to bring to your attention that the youth branch has been launched. The COI youth branch is officially active. The next generation is informed, engaged, and ready to lead the way. Our radio campaign is in full swing. Our voices is being shared across every island, thanks to the efforts of our radio volunteers and growing support base. My fellow Bahamians, the movement is growing from street to parliament, from island to island. The people are organizing and the old political order is being challenged. I would like to extend a special thank you. I extend my heartfelt thanks to all of our members and supporters who backed me during my participation in the first ever all-female political debate. Your encouragement and solidarity reminded me of why we fight for the dignity, strength, and the voice of every Bahamian. Continue supporting of our candidates. Our candidates are in the streets, walking the communities, hearing the people. Join them, walk with them, be a part of this historic movement. If you are ready to stand with the people, for the people, and by the people, become a member of the movement. Pay your membership dues or sign up as a member by visiting www.coalitionofindependence.com or stop by our constituency offices in Pinewood Gardens or Fate Avenue South. As we continue to send a clear message, let this be your reminder that the power of the people is greater than the people in power. And this week, that power became undeniable. My fellow Bahamians, thank you so much. Thank you for standing up and thank you for fighting. In unity and in strength, we will continue to press forward. Good afternoon, my fellow Bahamians.
Of course, I'd like to say, of course, that picture there was Elder Dames that you just saw. That was Elder Dames and his wife. We're going to say a happy anniversary to them. 51 years of marriage. 51 years married to one person. All right. So we just want to congratulate them on a happy marriage. All right. So that's from Elder Dames and Mr. and Mrs. Dames. You normally see him on Steve McKinney show. Knows the Bible very good. He's a stand-up man. All right. So congratulations to you. I'll take this last call and then I'm gone. Good evening, caller. You're live.
Is Lincoln Bean?
Yes, it is. You're live.
I just want to congratulate you all on getting a cabinet minister in Parliament.
Yes.
And I just glad you get a vision to carry this Bahamas forward.
Yeah, man. Thank you, my brother.
All right.
All right. God bless you. Thank you, man. So y'all got to make this happen. This is not going to happen because of anything I do. It's going to happen because you go out there and fight for it. You got to spread the word. You got to convince your people. They're going to say nasty stuff about us. That's how they fight. You know, they want you to not focus on this country moving forward, having proper healthcare, proper education. I'm going into other industries. We don't need more taxes. We need to make more revenue by going into businesses like Dubai did, like Singapore did. The country will form companies. And with our sovereign wealth fund, we'll partner with other professionals to make sure that we can go in the shipping industry, in the cruise ship industry, in other industries that we should have been in a long time. We should be processing aragonite and sand. We should be making chips right here. We should be making glass right here in the Bahamas. There's things that we can accomplish as a people if we would only wake up. They won't talk about building docks and building bridge and paving road. That's unacceptable. Time for the new Bahamas. All right? So, ladies and gentlemen, I love you. God bless you. We did almost 3 hours again today. It's ice cream time. So, thank you so much. See you on Thursday. Again, the YMTA, not the YMCA, in Hunters. Going to present some new candidates to you. And we're going to present your member of parliament to you. You're going to hear from him, hear from me, hear from my deputy and others. Ladies and gentlemen, the evolution has begun.